hello everybody and welcome. Welcome to a FIFA 21 Next Gen info video. It's been too long. The PS5 is out, the Xbox Series X is out, but FIFA 21 on those consoles is still yet to be released, and we've waited very patiently, and now we have our first bit of information on FIFA 21 Next Gen, and I am going to go in depth. Now, before I go any further, I will let you guys know that I literally just finished up a presentation and Q&A session of FIFA 21 with the developers. I was very lucky enough to get to see the game in action a little bit earlier before it's all dropping today. Now let me talk a little bit about what it is exactly that I got to see in the presentation. So essentially what I had shown to me by the EA devs when it comes to FIFA 21 on next gen consoles was that they were operating on trying to improve 4 different facets of the game: see, move, feel, and play. So we'll start off with see. Some of the first real visual improvements that you can see in the game, some of the things that I never really even knew was something that should really have been a focus in FIFA in the past, was muscle deformation. The fact that when a player charges up a shot that you see their muscles tense up. Like that's something that for some odd reason I never even really thought about, but that looks incredible. Probably the sexiest thing that I have seen has got to be the new hair strands, and the way that hair flows and moves and looks in next gen is absolutely unbelievable. I actually put out a tweet before when they released some screenshots of Trent Alexander-Arnold and João Felix, and I was like, oh my god, that hair is like godlike. That's absolutely ridiculous. That looks insane. And having seen it in-game moving around as well, oh my god, that thing is ridiculous. Other features as well, like when the ball is struck, you see the ball flatten a bit and then bounce off of the foot, just like the physics of real life. So just minor improvements here and there that you see, and maybe that you won't even really be able to tell whilst playing the game, but as you really look into it, you see the fine detail. The new broadcast system, which while I don't necessarily think should be hailed as a major next-gen feature, it is just a different camera, but it does really show off how beautiful and how awesome the new next-gen system in FIFA 21 is looking. And probably the highlight, and I don't mean that as a pun, has to be the new lighting system as well. The lighting system that they call runtime lighting, which just basically means that the lighting, the ray tracing capabilities of next-gen consoles in FIFA 21 just make the game look absolutely unbelievable, especially at like nighttime, and especially when the game's foggy. Fog, when it comes to environments in next-gen games, is like sweat on players. Like, that's the equivalent. Fog with this lighting system just makes everything look unbelievable. If you were expecting a brand new game on a brand new engine that was been built from the ground up, it doesn't seem like that exactly is the case. It still seems like it is FIFA 21, the game that had been released on previous consoles or on the older consoles, but has now just been completely had so much added to it, looks so much better now running on the PS5. It looks incredible. Now moving on from C, the visual facet of next gen, to move. They spoke about how they were really focusing on multi-touch animation, aka they were trying to make a lot more shorter animations, like the focus of an animation, to try to make sure that you don't get stuck in really long animations, and that if you want to make a move and then change your mind later, that there are those short animations in there to be able to exit out of certain moves whilst it still looks sort of somewhat fluid. They were saying how with the better processing power, the faster load speeds and everything like that on the new consoles, that they can add these shorter animations because they'll be able to go frame by frame by frame to decide what new animation they should opt the player on the ball to do, or even off ball. So that is definitely something that I think you'll be able to maybe notice when you play the game. Again, remember, at this stage, I've only seen the game. I haven't actually had hands-on, which is kind of funny because the next thing I'm talking about, enhanced physical battles, apparently they said in the presentation is something that is very difficult to see when you're just watching it, but that when you're actually playing the game and you are in a one-on-one physical battle, that you'll be able to see that there have been some improvements there. And as well, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but of course, the PlayStation 5, which I do happen to have, and I do happen to have the new controller as well. You may have heard a lot of people talking about the PS5 controller, how the DualSense is like these haptics that really make you feel certain vibrations and just all over the console. Like genuinely how you can pull down the RT trigger and it will actually give you a bit of resistance. If maybe in NBA 2K a player's getting tired, it will start becoming a little harder to pull down the trigger. And that the vibrations that you feel are just, instead of the whole controller just shaking, you get specific parts of the controller shaking. So you're playing the game and it feels like oh, I got a bump to my left side, and you maybe will feel specifically vibrations on that side of your controller. Apparently, when you're in those one-on-one physical battles, you can really feel it in the controller, and apparently they have really tried to, make the most of the haptics of the DualSense controller on PS5 as well. There's off-ball humanization, which is something that they showed off. Apparently, players, when you kick off games and if you score a goal, concede a goal, something like that, you'll see real world players maybe do certain moves or mimic their real life counterparts. So the marking players, they're just trying to make the players feel as real as they would be off the ball. And speaking of feel, we'll move away from move to the feel facet. I mean, I'm sounding like I'm the one that was giving the presentation at this point. They showed off these big goal moments, essentially something that I've really wanted to I've wanted to see in FIFA for a while. When you score a 90th minute winner in a Champions League final, normally you just get maybe a bit of a pile on as the absolute most, but players don't go absolutely insane. Well, that is not a problem anymore, because there are some big, bloody, over-the-top celebrations which I absolutely love. Players, fans, even ball boys, and apparently even security go absolutely crazy when a huge goal is scored and a really significant goal. Managers even pile on in, which is insane and hilarious to see. So not only do you feel the emotion of scoring a huge goal in a massive moment, but also the anticipation and the build-up of a game is something they've wanted to work on. So they've added plenty of cinematics to prior to a game starting, like fans moving through the turnstiles, shots of an empty stadium, for example, which are really cool and help build up the tension and the atmosphere leading into a game. They've even got bloody flares in stadiums that actually allow flares, so I don't think you'll be seeing them in the Premier League anytime soon, but the flares look awesome as well. And the final facet, which was, of course, play. Something I spoke about before, of course, the haptics of the DualSense controller. I don't exactly know with Xbox Series X if the controller has the same sort of vibrations and things like that. So I think it's only just specific to PS5, but they do utilize the haptics of the DualSense controller. Of course, I think a lot of people know by now that shared progression. If you have Ultimate Team and Volta, that all carries over, which is, as a career mode, man, pretty goddamn annoying. It's a little disappointing, Ultimate Team and Volta. I mean, if Volta's carrying over, why can't Pro Clubs? Why can't career mode? I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is. At least I guess it's nice for those game modes. I won't be upset about it, but I just wish career mode and Pro Clubs also got the same treatment. And then they also spoke about faster load times in general. They sort of showed off how quick it is to jump into games on, say, PS4 v PS5, and the leap is, it's impressive. It's not absolutely insane, but it is pretty impressive and just obviously to be expected. But there is a lot to get excited about, and I am very excited to get underway with FIFA 21 on next gen on PlayStation 5. That was pretty much the extent of everything that they showed, so I don't think we're going to see any major additions to certain game modes necessarily. It looks like it's just they've tried to enhance the gameplay experience more than anything. You will see a lot more additions to gameplay, visually, to how gameplay itself operates and how it feels. But if you're looking for new features in terms of game modes and whatnot, it looks like everything that they had prior in the older version of FIFA 21 is going to stay the same. And if you were kind of anticipating, I don't know, maybe how they sort of did previously when they jumped from Xbox 360 to Xbox One and from PS3 to PS4, they kind of built up a brand new FIFA with a brand new engine. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case this year. They've just taken the game as it is and just really not completely overhauled gameplay, but they've made significant additions to the visuals and to gameplay, so it is looking very, very nice. I guess depending on how lofty your expectations were for this game, then it'll maybe, I don't know. I could see a lot of people being reasonably happy with the new changes and being pretty impressed. Some people may be going to be feeling a bit underwhelmed, but in my opinion, I mean, this is pretty much what I expected in terms of the amount of changes that we got. It feels like the jump from PS4 to PS5, from Xbox One to Xbox Series X is not exactly generational, you know. It's not a huge leap forward in terms of visual capabilities and, you know, and all that stuff. Like, for example, when we went from, say, PS1 to PS2 or to PS2 to PS3, that blew my mind. Now it's not really so much like that. But I was still very happy with what I have seen. I cannot wait to start playing PlayStation 5 FIFA 21. That'll be fantastic. And on top of that, I cannot wait to get my first career mode series going on there. I've got so many other videos that I can't wait to start pumping out when PS5 FIFA 21 comes out. I mean, if you are new around here, a lot of you probably watching this maybe aren't subscribed. Please consider doing so because, oh my God, I have so many planned. I am so pumped for FIFA. I am so damn pumped for FIFA 21 on PlayStation 5 and on the next gen consoles. I cannot wait. Hopefully you guys are about the same, but I mean, let me know what you think. If from what you've seen so far of next gen FIFA 21, are you impressed? Are you underwhelmed? I mean, I'm pretty much bang on in the middle. I'm definitely not upset with what I saw, but at the same time, I kind of got what I was expecting. I'm not, surprised and like pleasantly surprised. I am, pretty damn happy with what I've seen is basically what I'm saying. I'm not I'm not like discontent with anything I saw. I think it looks good. But yeah, let me know, of course, if, like I said before, you aren't subscribed, consider doing so. Of course, if you enjoyed the video as well, maybe drop a like, do whatever, but it's up to you. It's a free country. I mean, I hope you're living in a free country. Fingers crossed. But yeah, till next time, guys, thank you for watching. My name is Master Bucks. Catch you all next time. See you later. Bye-bye.